Student Activism Brings Sudan Native to GWU. Article by Susan Kinsey, Washington Post staff writer, September 23, 2008. George Washington University Student Activism. Students at George Washington University have formed the student organization BANA, Arabic meaning to build or create. The organization is equivalent to Action Darfur here at U of I. They are working in cooperation with GWU and have supporters such as former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright to bring students from the Sudan to the U.S. BANA's efforts. BANA is working to raise scholarship funds and awareness through protests, fundraising, grants, and other donations. The funds go to pay for tuition and housing for students affected by violence in Sudan's Darfur region. They are also working to raise money for BANA to have a permanent staff. BANA's goals. BANA's mission is to be able to educate students from Sudan so that they can return home and be able to make a difference for their communities with what they've learned. The students picked must have a strong desire to return home after finishing their education, and if they choose to stay in the United States, they must pay back all expenses. BANA makes a point to filter out applicants who seem to want to escape to the U.S. Applicants must be entirely committed to going back and working to reduce the likelihood of conflict in the Sudan. Makawe Mabador Deng is BANA's first student, 22 years old. He spent 16 years in a refugee camp and left all his things and family behind. Deng does not have money to contact his family, who he has always financially supported in the past. He is BANA's first student brought to George Washington University. Deng's goals. Deng is studying economics and Arabic to learn the language of those in power where he lives. Deng strives to become a lawyer and to master economics as he believes that competition for resources is one of the main causes of fighting in the Sudan. When asked about the risk of being put in jail when he returns home, he responded, "I could be put in jail, but that would not be the end of it. You allow them to see that what you are doing is not only for yourself, but for all people." BANA's tactics. BANA's main tactic was protesting to create publicity to get the program off the ground. BANA needed it to get the attention of university leaders, the community, and other public figures. After gaining exposure in the community, they turned to activism while striving to create a positive voice for themselves to gain respect rather than becoming a nuisance to university officials. I agree with the idea that they were really concerned about creating a positive voice for themselves rather than shock value. Protesting typically draws a lot of negative attention, especially when it's extreme and becomes annoyance to the community in general. People often don't respond well to protesters that they feel are simply causing a scene. Alternative tactics. BANA could have also tried special events. I feel that special events would have allowed for additional exposure, might have helped gain support and resources from the community itself rather than relying so much on help from George Washington University, and that events aimed specifically at the community outside of campus would give people who don't attend George Washington University a chance to get a better understanding of what BANA hopes to achieve. In conclusion, BANA hopes to continue providing Sudan refugees the opportunity for higher education. They are continuing to ask for university as well as community support. They feel that the best way to help those in the Sudan is not by sending Americans over to help, but by giving Sudan natives the tools they need to help themselves and to teach others.